Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and thanks for stopping by. Our dedicated team will guide you through with the latest updates and theories at Starbase, Texas. To the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon for future streams.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have liftoff.
Hello, everybody. Happy Sunday. Welcome to another Starbase Weekly live stream. My name is Zack Golden. Happy to be here with y'all today. Always another eventful week at Starbase. Got tons to talk about this week. And we also have Alex joining us. It's been quite a while. He's been on vacation. So welcome back, Alex.
Thank you. I've been on the road far too long. And yeah, ready for a great show. Should be fun.
Yeah, hopefully you didn't watch the last show that I was on. Your name came up quite a bit. It wasn't in a bad way though. Although we do have some things to point out this week. But
oh, how dare you! I have ideas.
There was lots of tank farm stuff that I was like stuck on, and I was like, I think I'm seeing this right, but I don't know. So glad you're back for that.
Good.
And I think we also have Matt doing questions and donations. And Matt, are you running the stream today, or is that Indy?
Well, I'm running the stream, and I will be commentating a bit, but we have Indy on questions and donations.
Okay.
That's me.
Well, sorry, I messed that one up. Well, yeah, happy to be here with y'all today, like I said. I don't know where we should start. Actually, the last few times I was on, we didn't talk about Ship 41 at all, or Ship 40, sorry. So I think we'll go ahead and do that because I keep saying that we'll do it at the end of the show, and then we don't. So we might as well do that today. Because I don't know. Admittedly, I feel like I've been a little bit out the loop just because I've been focused on other things lately. But as y'all know, Ship 40 ended up in Christmas Island, which is I think northwest of Australia. So I'm guessing this is just like the closest place with a port that they could get it to, and now it's there. So we've got tons of cool images this week, and I think one of the actually this one come in last week. I think. I love it when I'm trying to. Okay, yeah. So that's still this week. So one of the cool things that I saw that I liked when we finally got these images was actually being able to see how they were towing it, because previously we had seen images suggesting that they were they tried to put a cable around the I guess this is the common dome right here, or the forward dome right here, and you could kind of see. I believe actually the chain was still present at this time. I don't think it's visible here, but the chain was basically around this ring of tiles, and I kind of wonder if the goal was to crush those tiles so that the other tiles in front of it would kind of be like an anchor for the chain and allow it to basically pulling the ship using the tiles more than anything, really. But that seemed to not work, so they ended up towing it by the one of the center sea level engine nozzles, which is kind of funny, but also makes sense because that really should be one of the strongest points on the whole ship. And it also explains why they had to tow it backwards. Because I think, and I could be wrong on this, I believe they were originally towing it forward, and which is kind of naturally how you would expect them to do it. And the result of that, with that chain slipping, it did actually damage the forward flap. I'm gonna see if, I don't know if this is the best one to show that. Not necessarily. Let me see if I can find a better view of that. I have all these different. Oh, this is the one.
Yeah, from the
So
view
yeah,
on
this
that,
one. Go ahead.
no, I was going to say from the view on the video, it looks like it got ripped off even.
Yeah, I think it's right up here. It did. So I think this flap is gone. The other one is damaged. I'm actually not sure on that because the flap is a little bit more forward in that position, so I'm not 100% sure. I think it is gone though. It should be just below the water line right here, because this isn't the actual mounting point. But yeah, you can see that damage from where and there's the chain right there. I'm guessing they had rigged this up initially that way, and they kind of left it in the water like that so that it could get towed by that line. And yeah, you can see the damage that was caused by that chain, and as well as the that forward flap. Hopefully we'll see the other one in this video. I can't remember if it shows the other one. But yeah, these videos are great. Also, you got to be careful just anytime you're filming stuff like this, because there are obviously things that SpaceX doesn't want shown. So sometimes, depending on what you're looking at, lower resolution things could end up being better. But yeah, you can see a really great image like right here of the way they're towing that. And I like the way that he filmed this because he went past the nozzles really quickly. Okay, never mind. He came back. So this one how did this one not get removed? I'm surprised this video didn't get removed, because the one that showed, maybe it's because it's just lower resolution and it doesn't really show the injectors as well. But there was another video that did have a better view of the injector plates, which, like, you should just never, even if you see one out in the open for some reason, you just, I mean, if you take a picture of it, keep it to yourself type thing. Which reminds me that, go ahead.
I was just saying, it's impressive just for how dark you'd expect it to be past the throat, that they're able to get such a nice shot.
Yeah. Yeah, and so the only other time that I've, in recent memory, seen an injector plate was when the RS-25 engine was out at the press viewing site for Artemis 2. And I was really surprised that they showed that, because they're still flying the RS-25s. So I mean, I guess that was probably one of the older ones, but still, I was kind of surprised that they showed it. I think another interesting thing around here is that all of the rust is in the areas out of the water that aren't, which is a bit counterintuitive in a way. I'm surprised it's not more concentrated down here.
The amount of corrosion on the copper and the engine bells is shocking as well for me.
Yeah, I mean, this does make me wonder about, long-term outdoor storage of Starship stuff in Florida specifically. But I do wonder. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty thick in some areas, almost like approaching barnacle thickness. Yeah, that was a really cool shot though. But so yeah, it's still floating out there right now, and there is another ship on its way, which will most likely be transporting it back. That's going to be interesting. It is kind of something that many of us expected. Interstellar Gateway posted it this morning. This is basically a semi-submersible. I don't know if you call it a recovery vessel, like
Yeah,
a
because
salvage vessel, basically.
yeah, they're used for so much though. But
Yeah.
semi-submersible is probably the most accurate.
Yeah, and I could obviously find a better image of one of these, but should be good enough to kind of explain that they're basically just using their own ballast, basically take on a bunch of water, drop themselves low into the water to get beneath something, and then pump that water right back out and lift up with whatever they're carrying on the deck. So that's going to be interesting. I think that's going to be an interesting operation because I want to go back to that good one where it was floating on the water, the far view. I'm literally clicking on every single link just to get to this. So, I mean, it floats really nicely on the water, and obviously its own weight isn't crushing it when it's laying flat, right? But I do wonder if they need to take other steps when they're transporting it on a hard surface. Because I think that might be a little bit different, and then it has kind of instead of, and maybe I'm thinking about this the wrong way, Alex. You can correct me, but I feel like it's a little bit more cushioned when it's on the water versus like on the deck of something, and then it has those reaction forces from the deck acting up on it.
It depends on the swell as well, because water is very flat, so you're not getting a lot of stress from, because depending on how large the seas are, this right now, yeah, it's just sort of floating on a cushion. But once
So like if this were to ride up a wave and come back down, that would be different than if it was on a ship and the ship hit a wave and came back down, right?
yeah, and they're probably going to make those wood saddles like they did for, what was that, Booster 13? Which one of the boosters, they made that pretty elaborate saddle after they recovered it from the Gulf.
Yeah,
But
I for the aft section,
yeah,
13.
yeah, I think it was 13 they did that, or was it 11? Anyway, one of the boosters, they had a pretty elaborate, and then one of them, they just used a bunch of cribbing, so...
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they. I feel like getting it on the ship is the easy part. Securing it after is the more risky
Yeah.
part. Obviously, especially if it. I was going to say if it rolls, but actually, once it's laying on the deck, the raceway kind of. Imagine it'll roll and rest on that raceway, and that'll stop it from tilting any further.
I'm pretty sure they already know for horizontal transport where their load points are going to be, so they're probably going to make a wooden frame in place that'll support it in similar locations, and just treat
So
it
that would
as if, yeah, go on.
that would kind of imply that it's going to be even because I think the ship's arriving right now.
Right.
So I'm guessing there's going to be a lot more preparation once it actually shows up then.
Yeah, they're gonna figure. Yeah, and a lot of these structures they could be building on the deck as we speak while it was in transit too, because they had to bring whatever supplies they needed to secure it to the deck. Other than a
Okay,
bunch
so they
of
had all of that stuff in place on the ship beforehand, you think,
yeah,
instead of
yeah,
potentially having to get it out there once it arrives?
yeah. When they brought it out, I think Event Dudes had a shot of it from one of the satellites. That there's quite a bit of stuff on that deck.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't seen. Let me see if I can find that image. Okay. Yeah, it's going to take too long to scroll through all of this stuff, so I'm not going to try to do that.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting how they do it.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll get tons of good shots of it once it arrives. So, yeah, but that is exciting news to see what happens from there on. Obviously, the goal is to bring it back to Starbase.
So
That's going to be the route that they're going to have to take is going to be interesting because I think they'll either have to go through the Panama Canal or take a significantly longer journey the other direction.
Yeah, they're either doing Suez or Panama.
Would they have to come up through the Suez?
Yeah, if you can avoid going around the Cape of Africa, you kind of do.
Oh, pirates.
And weather. There's, I mean, I'd be more concerned with pirates off of.
Yarg.
Yeah, it's almost dealer's choice at this point. Which way is shorter?
So, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, so instead of going down and around, I feel like going up through there is so much longer of a journey.
I mean, I want to go to the Pacific just for lulls, but
Yeah, I feel like coming up down this way through the Panama Canal probably makes the most sense. What makes even more sense, in my opinion, is since there's so much of the team in California, and they're obviously headquarters in California, theoretically they could find a port in California to bring it to. But obviously they've already mentioned that they want to bring it back to Starbase. So,
I mean, they have their port in Long Beach for.
That's what I'm talking about.
yeah, that to me that makes the most sense. And then you just fly the team to California instead of paying that extra money to bring it all the way through here, which I imagine would vastly outweigh the cost of just bringing it to California. But yeah, I mean, that's going to be interesting. And then for a while, I was kind of thinking about this, if it has any bearing on the upcoming Flight 14 or the ship recovery. And I do think that it may have something to do with that to some degree, because not Flight 14, but the first catch attempt, because and I explained this in a reply to somebody on X, but I personally feel like the ship team, more so than the booster team, the first time they did a recovery, they're kind of were planning on running a bigger risk than what the booster team has to do, because of the fact that they're re-entering first, and then they go through all that re-entry, which can change things structurally on the vehicle as far as damaging specifically the landing hardware and also the structure of the vehicle itself potentially, even though it does look really good. That is always a possibility. So I feel like they ideally always wanted to get to recover a ship so they could study it structurally, like cut it apart, same way they do when they take coupons on new hardware that they've built for the first time. So I think that they never expected to actually get one, obviously, and they were planning on not having the ability to run those types of analysis. But now that they have it, I think that's kind of changed the outlook on when the first catch attempt will be. So I think that's in my opinion probably the reason why they're not going to go for it on Flight 14.
I mean, it's similar to when they recovered the 2 booster afts and couponed them up and did all that destructive testing of the old hardware. So
I just saw this super chat that came in. Y'all are funny. Not the greatest moment in Zack history. Anyways, sorry, Alex.
oh, but it was spectacular.
It was, and
Yeah.
it's classic.
It is. I'm just glad. Never mind. I'm not even gonna say what I was about to say because then someone will do it. Yeah. Anyways, I guess we'll go ahead and move on to Massey's.
Oh, wait.
Actually, hold on. We probably have questions related to the ship, so maybe we'll do that. And there's also several donations that have come in. So, Andy, do you want to go through those?
Sure. I'll start off with the donations. We want to thank Turtle Sanctuary for $100 in donations. He gave 2 $50 donations. The first time he says, I hope you don't mind. I don't always understand your technical. I just nod my head like I understand so I can look smart too. Turtle, you're not alone. And then he also said favorite Zack quote yelling, I'm doing my show.
So what I'm hearing is we need bobbleheads.
Wow.
Coming soon to the merch store.
That's so good. And then we also want to thank Woodworker Don for his $10 donation. And he says, RGV, really great views. And then we have a question from Python. He's wondering if they bring it back, the ship back, to Starbase for vertical display, is the skirt in good enough condition to interface with a transport stand?
I think that's a good question, and I don't necessarily know the answer. I mean, it looks fine from here, but that's like one of those things I feel like would need a very close inspection of, especially the stuff that's been underwater the whole time. So, the same way that there's corrosion on the aft shield over here, I'm sure there's probably something in those mounting points as well too that may possibly prevent the clamps from engaging. Sorry, these are the clamp points right here, right?
Is that them?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
this one looks a little damaged, but that's
It'll-
just a tile. It's
It'll
just a
buff
tile
right
missing.
out.
Yeah, I mean, you could get some kind of like buildup in there, which I actually think I see on this one, which may have to be like scraped out type thing. But I don't know. I mean, I feel like one way or another they would make it work if they need to. The question would be getting it vertical again, which I guess it's good they have that breakover that they've been working on, but I don't know if that will necessarily work the way they would want it to for this. So that would be an interesting operation to get this thing vertical. That would be funny if the first time they use that breakover is on the ship, though. I just don't know if that's a reasonable expectation.
I mean,
yeah, I don't think. I mean, if the breakover can engage the ship, if the supports raise it up to the same height that it would be on that transport, then they could slide underneath it possibly before going vertical. Yeah, I mean it's definitely a possibility, but I don't know. Like I said, it's impossible to know whether the skirt is actually in a good enough condition to be on that stand right now. Next question.
This question is
Or
more
was that the
about.
only one?
Well, that was the only one about the ship, but this one has to do with the flight plan of that ship. Dustin's wondering, since Starship has proven it can handle reentry, why not just have Starship splash down in the Gulf? Or is it because the original flight plan had it coming all the way through Mexico?
To be honest, I'm not sure what like have they even released any information on what their any information at all on what their plan is for Flight 14? I don't think they have. So um I'm not sure. I don't know if a water landing is an option. Um it might be. Uh I guess I don't really see why it wouldn't. But I always expected that whenever if they didn't land where they did, they would the other option was off the coast of Hawaii, so in the missile range. So I'm not sure. I feel like if they were going to potentially do a water landing near Starbase, like that we would see documentation for that ahead of time.
Yeah, I think the last data they released was another environmental statement about the Pacific. I think slightly further north than the original parts of their license. But yeah, I expect
Yeah.
it to come into the Pacific.
Yeah, and on that note, I do think we're probably expecting it to be the first orbital flight. And I do think the current delay with Flight 14 being no earlier than, was it, September 15th, I think it was. To me, that it definitely implies that it will be an orbital flight because as we'll kind of get into here, you can see ship 41 performed its static fire test this week, which was a two static fires. It did a reentry burn, a single engine test, and a 6-engine test, as always. But with the ship being seemingly, about to go into its final outfitting or whatever's left to add to it, you wouldn't expect the launch date to be, more than what was that, 25-ish days from now. 28 or 29 or something like that. So yeah, I think that the fact that it's so long out from right now almost implies to me that they might be waiting on test results from this. Which, if that's the case, I don't know if I'd be surprised if they're done by that date because just the current state of where it's at. So I guess we can get into that right now. So this is the 40 ship 43.
Yeah, 43.1, I believe.
Yeah, 43.1 nose cone, which was brought out here last week, and is now being hooked up. I guess it could be closer to being ready than I think. I mean, because one of the big things they had to do was they removed all of the pipework connecting this to the tank farm. And let me see if I can just find an image that shows all of that in one.
But this test structure also had quite a bit of stand reconfigurations that they're doing as well.
Yeah.
So.
And it's still not fully hooked up. I don't know if this is this might actually be one of the better ones right here. No. Okay. It's just a little bit too high. Cool. So yeah, we can see that they've begun to reconnect that pipework to the new LN2 tanks over here. Actually, I think these may actually be running to these tanks. I'm not sure if they've started disconnecting these. In my opinion, it's not actually confirmed yet whether these are going away.
I mean, as of now, the 3 new tanks aren't even fully plumbed in yet. Yeah,
So
these are tapped right into the pumps.
The existing pumps, yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess these tanks are going to stay.
At least for the
Oh,
short.
you're talking about because of the fact that the other ones aren't plumbed in yet?
Yeah, they're redoing the entire pressure building system.
Right. Yeah, so I guess they'll use these. This will probably be the last test that they do here before they remove it. Um, and as Alex was saying, they are building a new or scaling up the pressure building system. Actually, this is a complete. They're bypassing this one and making a completely new one.
Yeah.
It's fun. These are probably going to be much larger vaporizers than what was here, it looks like, as well.
Yeah, those are probably similar to the ones at the launch site, if I had to guess.
Yeah. I bet they wish that they didn't need to do this test right now so they could well, actually this system can never be you can't take this offline without taking the entire Massey's offline. So they kind of have no choice but to put it where they can fit it until this is gone. I wouldn't actually be surprised to see them move it twice.
Yeah. Everything's on hard mode when you're trying to upgrade in place.
That's one of my favorite things to watch, though, is the way they do the upgrades, because it's not an easy thing to do. Right now, they have added more concrete. You can see they're still removing some as well, and we were kind of wondering if we would see them install or create another foundation for a second nose cone jail or super crusher, whatever you want to call it. But I don't see those currently. I don't see any pads underneath this for that. And also, if I'm not mistaken, I do believe they put pilings for these.
Yeah, that stand is sitting on piles. So I believe at Sanchez they had the lower ring for that potentially new super crusher. So
Oh,
it might.
wait. Yeah, I think I know which one you're talking about. By the ground fab building.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what you think it is, but we'll look at that shortly.
Okay.
They're tapered instead of being. Matter of fact, we'll just go look at it right now. I used to not like bouncing around a lot, but I really don't care. So they do have these over here right now, which have come out of the ground fab building, and
That is interesting.
I think these are for something else.
I see what happens when I just look at the thumbnail.
Yeah, they're weird for sure. It almost looks like an arch, except for the fact that these are five and they're all about the same shape, so it doesn't look like there's not an obvious connector piece that goes onto here yet.
No.
So strange.
But they do have those concrete fill ports looking things on them. Interesting.
Yeah. Maybe it's a big claw for the tower.
Oh, that'd be great.
So yeah, with that new pad, it's tough to say where that new super crusher is going to go, because we don't really see any preparations for that. But we do see these new reaction frames down here, which were in 4 pieces, I believe, in the last flyover, and now they're joined together. So all 4 of these pieces, I believe, were identical. And now we can see that they create 2 corners. It's almost similar to this one in a way.
Yeah.
And I do kind of wonder if that's what it's going to be, and if that, in that case, with there being 2 of them, it kind of leads me to think it may be something related to flaps.
Oh, we're also seeing pistons starting to be installed on them as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's 2 there, and then there's another one in that bottom corner that's, you can just barely see it, just to the right, just a little bit there. It's hard to see. I looked on a couple different pictures, but mostly the frame is kind of blocking it.
Right here?
Nope. Well, there is
There's
one
one right there.
but to go up and to the right just a little bit more. Right there. Yep. You can see the top kind of sticking out up a little bit.
Hold on a second. I'm kind of confusing myself here because if these are identical, like I said they are, then it's basically in the same two positions, right?
Mm-hmm.
Going to be here and here.
Right.
And then there's probably another one under here. That's interesting. So man, they don't look like they're made to, like they're all in line with the frame.
So far.
And they don't look like they're made to swivel inwards. So that's weird. Yeah, I don't know. Did anybody have any ideas of what this might be used for yet? I'm guessing these are probably related to it as well.
Nope.
Yeah, not yet.
Is Chrome Kiwi on vacation? Surprised I haven't modeled this already, but yeah, that's going to be. I mean, and the interesting thing to note about this is that it's not as heavy duty as the ones that they've put on this other stand over here. So yeah, it is. Okay, that's still not the one I was looking for. There we go. Not as heavy duty as this one, but yeah, still going to be interesting. This stand looks like they might finally be ready to do this test on the LOX landing tank. I think they probably at this point got to have all the actuators installed at least.
After they finally installed number 632.
Right. Yeah, quite the test on that landing tank. Yeah, they even have all the accumulators are set up. Hydraulic. What, Alex? What's this?
It looks like just a high pressure
Is it an accumulator.
Yeah, it looks like COPV.
Oh, it is yeah. Yep.
Or they're using it as a hydraulic damper.
Or the pressurization. Never mind. I was thinking like autogenous pressurization for this. But I would imagine they probably need more than just one for that. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did skip the static fire test stand. I guess I can go to that. There's tons of images of that. Not much really to talk about here with ship 41 having performed its static fire test, though. We have been waiting to see what this new addition on the side is. Maybe that's one of the things I was going to ask you about. They don't have that connected yet, so I'm assuming that is still a work in progress on that new system that they've installed on this. But we did actually get to see in the static fire test for the first time that purge system. Oh gosh. The purge system down here, which you can actually see spraying out from the bottom. This is basically a nitrogen purge around the skirt. Okay. And I think that's really the only area you can see it. But yeah, they didn't have any of the other stuff connected on the stand as far as I can see in these videos. Let's see if they have a side profile view of it. Geez, that's bright. I'm not sharing my audio, am I? Because that would have been really loud. I am.
I have it muted, so.
Yeah, I have it. Okay. I have it muted as well.
Well, sorry about that. Yeah, I don't think those are connected in this test, though. But yeah, glad to see that they're finished with that testing campaign already. And I think this upcoming week we have booster 21 coming out for static fire testing.
Was it scheduled yet, or is it?
Starship Gazer posted something, so I'm
Okay.
assuming if he posted it, then it's
Yeah.
more than likely was from a transport closure. I haven't checked myself yet. But yeah, so not much else going on back here. Tons of new equipment laying around for the the liquid nitrogen farm. I don't have any great images of that this week. Like we have some. This one's like one of the best images of the tank farm that I've seen in a while. Specifically, if you're trying to figure out some of this stuff, I wish I had this specific image months ago. But hopefully next week we'll probably get one of the new liquid nitrogen tanks and get an idea of where they're at with setting those up. The best shot we have of those currently is just in this image, and we can see that they have the skids down there, but they haven't started actually connecting them yet. So there, I do see some pipes along the pipe rack up here. But yeah, this still seems like they got a ways to go with that. And this is actually interesting because it's a bit strange as well too. And I really need another image of this. Let me see if I can. I really don't think there is one though.
Yeah, that corner was elusive this week.
I'm gonna pull up one from the flyover earlier in the week, and I might be able to show this a little bit better. There we go. Cool. So this is from the Tuesday flyover, or wait, Monday? Not sure which day this was. The 14th. So yeah, these are weird though, because I think on these skids that they had over here, Alex, that they had pumps on the skids themselves.
Some of the skids are transfer skids for like filling the pressure building tank.
Oh.
And then the first two tanks are odd because they did the bespoke plumbing, and then the newest tank, it looks
The
like
new
they're
one
doing.
has a skid.
Yeah, it's kind of like, okay, consistency.
But they did have ooh, that's a good one. They did have, is this an offloading station?
Yeah, or loading, but yeah.
Or loading station, sorry.
Yeah.
I thought they had more of those pump skids out here somewhere.
They brought in a bunch of them. And I know one of them they set up next to the vertical tanks. They stood up early this week.
Truly trying hard to find what I'm looking for here. Because they've been moving around a lot, so I'm not sure where they actually are. They were against this wall at one point. I'm not sure where they are.
Yeah,
Oh well.
I lost track of them as well.
I tried. So then there's a new liquid nitrogen tank right in this area, which we can't actually see that though.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is for the pressure building system for these tanks.
Yeah, because that skid at the end of that tank does have a pump on it. On the
this one?
No, the top one.
This one.
You can see the gold end of the pump right by your cursor.
Yeah. And then these are valve skids or pump skids? Difficult to tell from this angle.
From that angle, it's hard to tell. I'd be.
That I might actually be able to see.
Yeah, we do have a pretty good overhead shot of it.
So close.
Just to the left. One more to the left.
There we go. Valve skids. Cool. So yeah, these are just basically transferring from the tanks, the storage tanks And then this transferring from this tank to the actual heat exchangers,
Yeah.
vaporizers.
Yeah. One of them's to control the tank's vaporizer for its pressure building, and then the other one's to transfer to the main farm vaporizers.
We got something else coming down here too.
Yeah, that's a vaporizer for the tank itself's pressure building.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pressure building for pressure building.
Yep. Then we have the silver gas line, and the transfer. The jacketed one is with the black foam is a transfer line.
And then the high pressure gas out.
Yeah.
Right here.
Yep.
Fun stuff. Let's see, what else do we got at Massey's? I feel like I'm missing something important.
We always are.
That's true. Let's look at the whole thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this was last week, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
It was there on the 14th. Yeah. So we do have 18.3 or 18.1. Wait. Yeah, 18.1 on the little stand that they built for it, which usually ends up being for water. But we don't see any water lines running to it yet. I don't know if they've actually started digging. They're digging something down there.
I thought that was electrical, but
Yeah, we're seeing a little bit of material starting to be staged around it. So it's, I mean, giving hints, but no real definition yet as to what it's going to be.
that's too much waffling, Matt. Just dive in and make a bold prediction.
I'm full on crow right now. Sorry.
I mean, there's a 3-for-1 crow sale.
Zach, are you looking
yeah,
at pictures from the 19th or the 14th?
Currently, 19th.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything down there. So tough to say what it's going to be used for. Temporary water storage kind of makes sense, but it doesn't at the same time because it's so far away from where it needs to go, and it just requires running a much larger water line than if they had it, even over here somewhere in this area. Or honestly, like, I feel like you could literally put it right here if you wanted to, but that would kind of ruin some of the drone shots, I guess.
Right. Well, they already have the water tank. Looks like they're plumbing it into the new water line, so by the ground fab building.
Wait, what?
They're finishing trenching for all the water lines, and they have one of them that looks like going to the white water tank by the cell tower.
Oh, you're talking about this one?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So
when you said ground fab building, I thought you were talking about Sanchez. I was like, what?
Not yet.
Let's see if I could find that. Wait.
That's a very small line. That's weird.
I was about to say, it looks like I would say irrigation, but why would they need irrigation? That almost looks more.
Does look like an irrigation line. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. Maybe they're going to get some trees out here or something. Why would they need an irrigation line here? That makes no sense.
Bananas.
So yeah, I don't think they've started the rest of the water line going through here yet, but they do have it mostly complete at the actual static fire stand. It's kind of just poking out of the ground currently, so it is sitting there. Then they've ran everything back along here, I believe. It's hard to get an image that shows everything. These are very, very zoomed in. Let's see. There we go. Yeah, they've got all that concrete filled back in for the most part. It came down through here. And then I'm guessing they may have stopped somewhere down here, or maybe they've gone a lot farther than I realized. But yeah, so they're just waiting to connect it to those tanks and to the actual municipal supply line, which I am honestly not sure of the status of anymore. I need to follow up with Dave because he's really good at searching for where they're at with that when he goes down there very frequently.
I know Gazer had a shot this week of one of the fire hydrants, and it wasn't pressure. It had a pressure gauge on it, and it was still reading zeros. So, not hooked up yet.
That maybe it's not an irrigation line. It looks like it's just filling this water tank. A transfer line,
Yeah,
a tiny one.
trickle flow.
Yeah, it probably just feeds off of like siphons over there, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that kind of covers everything at Massey's. Do we have any questions, Indy?
We got one question, but we got a lot of donations. We want to thank Turtle Sanctuary for his $10 donation. And he says, looking forward to Flight 14, but he's worried about highlights. My expectation is successful orbits, but how it returns after it actually orbits. Will the computer respond? That's the question. Next question. Next donation is from Martin, who donated £10, and he says, choo choo. Sharpie donated $10. Choo choo. Yazada donated $10. Looking forward to seeing photos of loading 40 on Forte. James Wilson donated $10, and Methane Man donated $20. Methane Man also donated 10 gifted memberships. So thank you all so much for your generosity. We genuinely appreciate it, especially because this week with the TFR, Mauricio is going to be in the 172 and probably going to have to use oxygen. So the money will help tremendously. Thank you so much. And then the question is from Skylight Studios. He's wondering, is there a plan to expand the Massey's? Because how are they going to test 1,000 ships a year?
There is a plan to, I think, eventually expand it down into this area, I believe. But we haven't heard anything else about that as far as I know. That would be a question for event dudes. I haven't followed up on that lately.
This Tuesday.
Right. They released for Roberts Road where they're building, I think, 2 test stands for ships.
Yeah. But they don't have a factory there yet, which implies that they will be building ships in Starbase and sending them to Florida potentially without engines in the future, and then installing engines and testing them in Florida. So yeah, I think Florida will probably take some of the load from Massey's by the time it actually reaches the point where that becomes necessary.
There's also a big update on Louisiana coming pretty soon.
Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the announcement was Tuesday, not for the Tuesday show, but
You are correct,
Both things
sir.
can be true.
look at me. Being lucky twice.
Any more Massey's questions?
Nope, that's it for the Massey's questions.
This was a good image. I could have used this earlier. Okay, cool. Well, I will go ahead and move us over to Sanchez then. And lots of activity over here. We already talked about these random pieces at the ground fab building that we don't know what those are for. But I'm sure we'll find out pretty soon. Lots of progress on the launch mount. They have now gotten 4 corners up here for the mechanical deck. And which means I'm assuming they're have everything at least tack welded on this the lower level. And if they're probably in there right now completing those welds while these are being mounted onto here. But yeah, really good progress on that. Sorry, I was trying to see if we could see any of the guys in there. Maybe with the top down. So they're all working on the outside, probably completing the welds on the bottom. Actually, you can almost see this right here. It looks like they have welded that.
Is that one guy bent down there in the middle, top?
Up here? Or there?
No, right on the inside there, right in the middle.
I think that's just
Go.
I'm not seeing where you're referring to.
In the purple shirt.
Outside?
There you go.
yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about inside here.
Oh, no. Inside the middle, in the middle of the stand.
Gotcha.
Oh, by the fire
I don't think there's anything to weld there.
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet. They will have to do this huge line right here on both sides.
And then the box stiffeners underneath the clamp hinges.
Yeah, those are actually over in this area, which is interesting because they're a little bit more completed than they were. Well, last time they were just single pieces. Where are they? This might actually be a good shot of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so now they're already like pre-assembled, which is pretty cool.
Right.
Especially because we didn't know that these existed.
Yeah.
It makes sense that they do because they have a floor, not a floor, but oh yeah, it is on the side. Yeah, there's like a plate that goes on top of these once they're installed.
Right.
I thought it actually goes across the top of this, the very top, not these.
I thought it bridged. I thought you could see that rib between the plates.
I'd have to go back and look. You might be right.
Yeah. But yeah, it took me a hot second to figure. I'm like, oh wait, that's those stiffeners.
Yeah, that's one thing I never covered when I did the launch mount episode because we didn't have good shots of it at that point. So now that we do, it's a little too late.
Yeah.
But another awesome thing this week, they are starting to lay the first pipes for the 2 deflector ramps. As I mentioned, I think it was like a month ago, these are slightly wider than the original ramps just by 2 pipes. So there's 2 additional pipes on each ramp. I think it increases it by like somewhere between 16 to 18 inches in width total. But yeah, this construction is going to go a lot faster with these already being in sections of 4. So yeah, getting that first one installed right there.
5.
Yeah, 5. Sorry.
I'm like, wait, can it count?
Yeah, I had to
I think some are 4.
Yeah, some are 4, some are 3. It's kind of weird.
I think most of them are 5 though.
There's some 2s down there right on the bottom.
Yeah, the 2 most of the ones that are 2 pipes are for the edge of the ramp, but then there's 2 that are for the middle of the ramp because they account for that extra width, and it's difficult to tell which one is which from here. These all look like they're possibly for the edges. Hard to tell. Actually, you can kind of see a slight offset on them a little bit.
Yeah.
Barely.
There's a tiny offset.
Yeah.
Are those wider?
I think there's 2 singles down here too. Oh, I guess the best way to tell is by these.
Yeah.
So yeah, these are all for the
ramp, which they didn't.
Yeah.
Weird, they didn't pre-drill. the shoulders.
This is a little confusing. So they have.
I think that's the same
I'm
number.
not going to go through this right now. It's not. It's there. It's there's 2 extras. But yeah, I'm going to go back and look at this later. I'm not going to do this right now.
Okay. Because I know one of
Yeah.
them was they re-drilled. There was something interesting with the old pipes on the original version, but we won't get into that.
Actually, these are for the flat part of the ramp. Yeah. I have to dig into this more later.
Yeah.
Down here next to the remaining launch mount sections, we also have the QD arm, piece for the QD arm for Tower 1. Down here, they haven't started assembling those yet, but I guess they're not necessarily in a rush for that. And more of those up here. Down near the wall. Maybe this is a good one. Not much to really talk about down here. Still got the same things that they've had under construction down here. This new frame that we saw, they haven't started assembling that one yet, so no updates on that. Oh, we do have this structure that we talked about multiple times at this point. The support structure or the maintenance structure for the launch mount, and I'm honestly like on the fence about this now because like I do, while I do think it's probably mostly for the launch site, I do wonder if the first time it will be used is actually during construction of this. And that's only because they haven't started assembling it yet. That makes me wonder if that's what's going to happen. There's some additional frame pieces down here, which I don't know if they might be related to this at all.
They look similar to what they were building at Massey's a few weeks ago. Because there's some more just to the left on the other side of the gate. Yeah, right down there. Yeah. And then they have some to accumulator like racks. But yeah, those top 2 by the pickup truck.
Oh, these, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure that's going to be a support structure around something. It could even be for the new super crusher, right?
Indeed.
Yeah, that's probably what that is.
Which is hilarious.
Then there's also. Did somebody figure out what this bridge is for though? This little bridge.
I know BJ was speculating that it's a replacement bridge for the Massey's flame trench.
Static fire trench?
Yeah. But it looks a little bit different to me. Because originally I thought it was going to be the for the ship QD arm, where they have all the valves and stuff installed.
Yeah. Looks like something's supposed to go on top of this.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I was thinking it was for the ship QD, where they have all the valve skids and control panels.
Let's see, moving further down here. Yeah, I was hoping that we would see them making progress on this already, but I guess they're not in a rush for that. And the proximity to the launch mount is probably a coincidence because of the fact that there's nowhere else to put it. But the fact that it is next to it does make me wonder if this might be related to work that goes on the launch deck while they're assembling it.
It seems rather than building the scaffolding, if that takes a place of that, it'd make a lot more sense once it's welded together to lower it in place and work on it.
Yeah, I agree. And it does make me wonder if they're going to also install the QDs. If it is used for that, it makes me wonder if they'll install most of the stuff for the QDs before they move it out.
Yeah. They'll definitely have a better idea how much it'll weigh and whether the two cranes will be able
Better view
to.
on this. The fact that this is the same color as these makes me think they're related, and also with them being in the same area. I just don't know how that would go together. All right, so moving elsewhere into Sanchez. Images of the launch mount. I think this is further along. Nope. Maybe this one? Yeah, so we do have large sections of the bridge crane that have showed up. One of the bridge cranes, at least. So you could see another piece back here. So this is just one of the two large girders that make up that bridge crane rail. And I do think they'll probably not do much more on this until they're able to get inside the bay to assemble it. So they seem to be just placing things here in this area in the meantime until they can actually move it over there. And then it looks like we'll probably see those other two sections. They've got blocks for them. They may even be out there already at this point. Are these like brackets to hold the
drums?
What do you call that? Yeah.
The winch drums? Because there should be two of those girders, and then you have the trucks that goes back and forth, I thought.
I think you're right. I think it arrived just after the photo came, so that's why you don't see it in the photo, but it's all there according to BJ.
Yeah, and those trucks are what's under the blue
everything else
tarps,
arrived?
right? To the right.
Under here?
No, to the right.
Oh.
By the tent. Yeah, there's one. The other three are right on the side of the tent.
Oh, yep. That'll be them. Yeah, that is a massive crane. So with everything on site for that, they'll probably, like I said, once they get space in the Gigabay, they'll be able to go in there and assemble that. Moving over to this area, they are still busy cranking out ship workstations. So this will be the third one right here that they've started. Still no sight of the booster ones yet, which is strange. But I suppose maybe they just want to get in the groove of doing one thing instead of going back and forth between booster and ship, or potentially needing a second team while one focuses on one. Over here, we can actually see them building out installing the mesh screens on the walls, I guess you can call them. Some of them are walls, some of them are doors. It's hard to tell which one's which, actually. I'm guessing the wider ones are the doors. Maybe.
I'm not going to guess. Whatever I guess would be wrong, so.
Yeah, I wonder what they're going to, they're going to have to start, they're running out of space over here. I do wonder if they're going to end up potentially fully building these out with the legs too. I mean, I guess if they were going to do that, they probably already would be placing them on top of the legs. But theoretically, you should be able to bring them through the front door. Obviously, you're going to have to be able to bring this through the front door with its current width. which is not even, it's not as wide as, or about the same width as the transport stand. So theoretically, they could build out the entire stand on top of the legs and then just bring the whole thing in there at one time. And then use the lift the crane, lift it off with the crane and place it on where it needs to go. I feel like the fact that they're doing these right now almost implies that that might happen.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they could just lift the whole thing and carry it with that gantry crane.
Yeah, where's the legs? Weren't they out here before?
They should be further down, I thought, closer. I think that pump house is blocking them.
Like down in this area?
Yeah, I thought. I could be wrong. I could be remembering last week too. No, those are weird.
I don't see them. That makes me wonder if they're.
If they
So
already
I thought
moved
they were
them.
over here.
That's where I remember them, and now they have more parts for another stand. Jeez.
Yeah, they're definitely going hard on the ship stands for sure right now. I think that is enough for. So there's 6 of these in each one. So that's. Three more stands, 3 more ship stands right there. And nothing at all for the boosters has shown up. So I do wonder if that implies that they're prioritizing ships right now, as far as what they were going to put in the bay first. And I'm just surprised that we don't see at least one for a booster, because they need to do that breakover in order to send them to Florida. So I was expecting to see at least one for a ship and one for a booster, but I guess they could really just bring it in on the SPMTs and like just leave it suspended. They don't necessarily need a stand to put it on right away to do the breakover.
Unless they're doing something crazy and they're making a universal stand that you just change out the clamps on the end of the arms. Sort of like what they did with the breakover.
Well, we've already seen what the booster stands look like in Florida.
But they also are
Matter of fact,
expected to need a lot more ship stands than booster stands, right?
Definitely, yeah. But hold on, I see if this works. There we go. There's the booster one. It'd be funny. You know what'd be funny? Surely they're not doing this, but it'd be funny if they're building all the booster ones down here and all the ship ones in Texas, and then just trading them.
I wouldn't put it past them.
I mean, they do have their own transport ship now.
Yeah, I mean, because they're not they have a second booster stand down here under here that they're starting, or that waiting to start, probably doing prep work on it. So like I imagine the first time they bring a booster, when they send the transport back, they could send booster stands with it, and I guess transport the booster with ship stands on it for the bay as well too.
I mean, they shipped those large frames 2 or 3 weeks ago that they had over here.
Which ones?
They're over by the Port Connector Road. Those, and then I think in these shots they were over by the Gigabay. I think they're on the other side. That
Wow.
This side.
That is a driveway right there. I actually haven't had time to look at these all the way. Still, you talking about these frames?
Yeah. So they are shipping stuff back and forth. So if your build plan isn't that crazy.
Yeah, we did see those at the port
Yeah, it
this
does make
week.
sense.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's where they're going to build the bridge cranes on.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Anything else in Sanchez? I feel like that's probably everything.
They're just still doing work to install more mega packs, but I mean, they haven't really done a whole lot of progress over there, honestly. Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder. Do you wonder if they're going to go all the way across? It kind of looks like they will.
So they have enough transformers there for one more row so far. And if they were
These
to
two.
take out, if they were to take out those transformers down there on the bottom left, behind where they've torn up all that concrete, then they could fit 2 more rows there, possibly 3 total if they really wanted to shove them in there. But I guess we're gonna see what happens.
I feel like they'll eventually delete this building, and then they'll add more on this side,
Quite
and potentially
possible,
even down this way too. They really could if they wanted to.
especially now that we're getting more electricity from Brownsville.
There's so many
True.
of those portable generators.
They started. I did see actually in some of the images from on the highway that looked like they had started laying down new electrical lines in some locations. Where did I see that?
Yeah, we're seeing them being pulled past Rio West right now, so they are on their way out there.
Uh,
Yeah,
I don't know if I have
go
the
go
real.
left a little bit to Rio West, keep going. That overhead shot should
There we
have
go.
it right there. There you go.
Yeah. So down here.
Yep.
But I'm guessing they laid new conduit, right? Because there was an image that I saw where they were actually running the conduit.
Yeah, they had run all the conduit. Now they're pulling the lines through.
There we go. This is the one I was looking for.
Yep. Yep.
So that might actually make it this faster because they're doing this underground versus installing a bunch of new poles everywhere.
Yeah, and they're kind of going one by one, basically. Just on the other side, you can see where they're pulling wire, so they're keeping up with it, basically.
Where?
Just further down south a little bit. Yeah, it's just off
In this
there.
image or a different one?
No, it's just in a different image.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they.
Yeah, I wonder how far up the highway they've made it. Like if they're just starting in the middle, and like working in 2 directions at the same time, or
Isn't this right in front of Huddleton?
Yeah, that's
this
just
is
past
the.
Huddleston. Yep. Yep, you can barely see Huddleston right at the bottom of the image there. Yep.
Yeah, there's the grade beams.
Yeah, I can't tell if they've. I don't think they've. I mean, maybe this looks like a box right there.
Yeah, they've gone through that whole area already.
I mean, a few months back, they were launching the directional boring in this area. So
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and look at older images to trace that out. Okay, back to Sanchez. Do we have any questions from Sanchez?
We do. We have one for sure. Nate the Great is wondering, based on the progress of the OLM and other facilities, when do you think they will roll it out to the pad?
The OLM?
Yeah, the new one.
Oh, I'm not in a position to make an estimate on that right now. I don't think it's that's tough to say. That's a math question that I'm not going to do on the show.
Fair
November.
enough. November of this year?
November.
Okay. And then we also want to thank Iman Vidali for their $10 donation, and Turtle Sanctuary for his $10 donation. And he said he had to leave for work, but he said, hashtag Alex does not chop liver.
Lies.
That's it.
Awesome. Cool. Well, thanks everybody for the donations. We're going to go ahead and move over to the Gigabay, where they have obviously finished topping out the structure. And I believe they lifted like, so there was, who posted that this morning? I think it was Amy. So they did like a topping out party. I don't know if you want to call it a party, but a photo op. And then they added a new beam like across here for some reason. The front, I don't think it's in these images, but it was like right across the top for some reason. It's just a single beam. So I'm not really sure what that was about. But I don't know if it implies that they've already finished filling in these or not, as far as at least getting the beams across there. But these are really great angles. I like the lower altitude angles for these, so you can kind of see across it instead of down into it a little bit better. But yeah, making a lot of progress on both the penthouse and the roof structure itself. And I don't think that we'll be seeing. I don't think we should expect to see them like use the roof for anything other than like utilities or whatever. But yeah, the elevators stop. They don't go up high enough for you to actually take an elevator to the roof. And I suppose there could be stairways that we're not seeing yet. I'm assuming there'd have to be at least one access way up here, but not necessarily for general access, I guess. But I don't even know why you would need to do that, to tell you the truth. I mean, with how large this floor is, I mean, I guess if you want to watch it launch from outside, that is potentially the best place to do it. Actually, it's definitely the best place to do it, I would say. But I don't know if we'll actually ever see it used like that.
Several mounting pads. Looks like they'll have more mechanicals up here than the other bays.
Where are you seeing those?
If you along the edges, the bottom straight down. If you head straight down and a little bit more to the right, right behind the cranes, in the up, and then a little bit to the left. There's one, and then there's they're mounted. If you look around, once you see those, you can't unsee them. They're all over the place.
All over the place.
Yeah.
So you're thinking this is
Alex?
HVAC?
Probably HVAC. Mounted. They're just mounting points.
Got it.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of them. I wonder how big those HVAC units are going to be, and if they're going to lift them up there with helicopters or not.
I mean, we haven't seen anything yet for a large crane.
What do you mean? As far as like a crane that can get it up there?
Yeah, and for disassembling these, if they're not going to crawl back down.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it is possible that they could leave the bridge cranes up until they get those up there. However, I don't think they would do that. I think by that point, actually, I mean, I guess it's possible. They could be rushing to get that floor down so that they can put the HVAC up there.
Yeah. Yeah, because this looks different than what they did at Roberts Road, because Roberts Road, I don't think the penthouse floor spanned the entire
right
area.
Yeah, it was just around the edges.
Yeah.
I think they've already finished this row. I'm not sure, actually. It's this one, actually, that they started on that side and went around, and I think this one's done now. I'd have to double check that. But yeah, so really just the top two levels left as far as cladding goes. and still working on getting the I always forget what we call this.
Parapet.
Yeah, that's why I forget, because I hate that word. They're getting that going across there, basically in preparation for the building that hallway. I do think it'll probably be several months after the structure is completed before we actually see them start to work on that, because they'll want to maintain crane access through here as long as they can.
So that's the rest of what that framing is out front that we're seeing laying down out there, is the rest of that parapet wall. Yep.
Yeah, and obviously no work in between the bay and the Star Factory yet, which is not surprising. Yeah, like I said, definitely want to keep this open as long as possible for cranes to move through. And I hope we get to see the first. I hope it stays open long enough for us to see the first ring section move into here for stacking. But I have a feeling we won't get that lucky. Yeah, they'll probably do it in Mega Bay 2 as long as possible until all of that is completed. I'm sure there's a lot more we could say on this, but we don't have BJ here today, so I'm not sure if there's any other details that I missed related to this. You know, one thing I've been wondering, I don't know if anybody has the answer to this, because I don't. I actually worked as a project manager for structural steel company for a while, and one thing we didn't have, because most of the buildings that I worked on weren't this tall, so we never had porta potties up top, high up in the structure like that. So that I'm wondering how they service these.
They lower them down.
Oh, so they're like spend it one day a week, just like
I think so. Yeah, I don't think they
bringing
bring
these
us
over to the elevator.
Basically.
Yeah, or they crane them up and crane them back down.
Yeah, they crane them.
I mean,
with this crane?
Yeah.
Are you sure? Because
Yeah.
I mean, especially with the roof here now, are you sure they would?
We've seen pictures of them being craned before. I just don't know. I don't remember exactly when.
Okay. I guess that's better than sticking them in the elevator.
A very large hose.
Yeah.
That'd be a tight fit in the elevator.
Yeah, I mean, try and pack as many as you can in there. I wonder how often they do that. As kind of fill up quickly.
Yeah, I'd imagine they probably get changed out probably twice a week.
Yeah, that's what I'm used to seeing is twice a week on those. So, yeah, interesting. Moving on, we do have I think it was ship 43 that was stacked onto its aft section this week.
Yep.
Maybe. And then in Mega Bay 1, Booster 21 is obviously in there, 22, and then I don't know if they've 22 is fully stacked, I think, right? And I don't know if they've started 23 yet. I'm way out of date on Mega Bay stuff right now. And sorry, I was just looking for side image right there so we could see. So if 22 is fully stacked, then this is 23.
Sounds right.
Yeah, I'm guessing here. Nothing really to talk about with the Gigabay. Are they cutting new holes in it? What's going on here?
I think those have been there for a while.
Cool. Not much to really talk about with the Star Factory, as usual. They are scrapping. It seems like they've moved a lot of stuff inside, and now they're doing some scrapping outside. I'm not sure what this was, but they cut it apart, scrapping it here.
I think it might have been
Interesting
that nose
stands.
cone.
Which one?
We had a
Oh.
picture. Yeah, we had a picture of a nose cone in that section.
Yeah. Do we know which one that was? Which nose cone it was?
I don't think we do.
Okay. Well, never mind that. What is going on here? It's just dirty.
Mud, dirt, filth.
Yeah.
At least it's not
so
moldy yet.
right. I'm just gonna check the side of the Star Factory to make sure I didn't miss anything down here because I haven't looked at these images yet. Some flaps outside. Random stuff. Cool. At the village, I'll save most of that for the Tuesday show. But they're still making progress on the Rocket Garden area, and I have a feeling this is a restaurant, a public restaurant.
That would be cool if it was. But
I mean,
a
that's
little
what it looked
small.
like. I don't think you would put something like this on. Not really. It's bigger than.
It's like the size of a 6-car garage.
It's about the same size as this one.
Yeah.
Flaps.
There's no holes though for ventilation or anything that you would need for a restaurant.
Like a grill.
Lots of cooler and backroom space necessary.
Yeah.
True.
And
So
when
maybe
you
like
see
a visitor center bathrooms.
yeah, because when you see the human for scale, you can imagine how quickly that area down there would fill up.
Fill up with what?
Just
Yes.
stuff and people.
Okay. I wasn't sure if you were referencing because I said it might also be a bathroom, and then you said how quickly it would fill up, and that's what I was like. So yeah, they are connecting the sidewalk here, and I'm guessing that if there's a booster and ship here, they'll go in these two locations. But haven't seen any pile. Actually, I don't think they need piles for that, for the foundations for these, but haven't seen them really start anything related to that foundation yet.
Yeah, it seems like they would have done that before they would pave the sidewalk, so they're not driving equipment over it if they're going to excavate for a large pad.
Maybe this is just grass here, and the vehicles will actually go along here instead.
And I've been thinking they're going to be horizontal for a while now, which will be
Both of them?
kind of, yeah, it'll be sad, but
I mean, I suppose you could fit a horizontal booster here, and I don't know where the ship would go.
Ship would go across that little center area.
Across here?
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
I don't like it, but that would be about the only place you could put it. If you were to.
I mean, you could have them, the full stack sideways in that space. I mean, each of those parking spaces is about 10 feet wide, so that area is a lot longer than it looks.
Yeah, I guess they could fit there. That would be weird.
Or they'll be
The shape
vertical.
of yeah. I mean, a vertical sounds like it makes more sense to me, because then you could put more than just you could put more things in there other than just two vehicles if you wanted to. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they end up doing with that.
Yeah, a couple other things that I noticed in here that's changed is they were putting down something on the top level and they've completely taken it all back off. So that's kind of interesting. Yeah, everything's been stripped right back up, as you can see.
This almost looks like oh, so whatever was here, they had glued it down on top of this?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, and then they stripped it right back off. So apparently they were not happy with whatever was planned to go there.
Yeah, at first I thought this was a radiant cooling line for,
Right.
I don't know why you would need something like a radiant heating line.
Yeah, that's
You
why
know,
I
to melt
thought
the
for the
snow.
first 2
Oh, wait.
seconds.
Right. What were you saying, Matt?
I said that's what I thought for the first 2 seconds when before I zoomed in.
Yeah. That's what, like, immediately I thought that maybe it's underneath this, but then I realized it's probably glue. So
Yeah. And then they're doing some kind of trenching in the parking lot area. They are running a pipe underneath both sides. So either that's electricity that they're going to be putting into the center for some charging, car charging, or maybe it's just irrigation connection. Not really sure.
for trees, I imagine you
Yeah.
probably have trees or
Yeah,
bushes in here.
but at the same time, if it was irrigation, you would really only need one in, unless they're connecting everything in a complete loop. So yeah, it just depends on what they're
Right.
doing.
Cool stuff. Let's go ahead and move over to the launch site unless we have any additional questions that have come in.
We do have a couple. Nicholas is wondering, could it be possible that between the Gigabay and the Star Factory, at the door side, that there are 5 bridge cranes?
Between the Gigabay and the factory. Oh, I mean, I feel like we would see supports for those. Like I think some of us kind of was hoping that was going to be what they would do. Trying to find a good view of it. I don't think people fully appreciate how difficult it is to talk and focus on looking for something at the same time. But I don't think we have a good top-down view looking at that this time. No, not from that side. This is probably the closest we're going to get. Jesus. So I'm guessing you were talking about going across from here. I think that there would be rail supports if that was the case. Like we would see it here already, and we don't see that. So I'm very curious how they're going to do those stacking operations because to me it doesn't fully make sense currently. Like I almost would expect this front aisle, right, or this whole row to be like slightly deeper so that they could bring a ring section in fully and then stack on top and then lift it back on top of the turntable. But we don't currently see that. I also thought it would be interesting if the turntables were, sunk down into the floor, but I highly doubt that's going to happen.
Are they still using the turntable, or are they rotating the welders around the vehicle instead? Since we've seen them demo or so many of the old turntables.
I thought they still had turntables in Mega Bay 1 and 2. Could be wrong.
Yeah, I haven't followed. I've just seen them that the last 2. One of them never was installed, and the other one they scrapped, and then they've scrapped 2. So,
but those are the old ones from. One of them was in the high bay, I think. Actually,
Well,
both of them may have been in the high bay.
one of the bearings was never installed. It just sat there forever and rusted out.
Right. What are these?
Railing?
Those are big, like this type of railing? That almost looks like,
Yeah, look one level below.
is it the same
It's like
thing?
exact same one. There you go.
Yeah.
These don't look as, this looks,
Robust?
this looks, yeah. Maybe they don't need to be so large over here because the stairway's there. Wait, there's no stairway on this one. Oh, this is a better view of it. So you would think that, I don't think those are the same thing.
Unless the wide sections where it snugs up to one of the columns.
Yeah, it could be. I'm sure BJ knows what it is.
Nate the Great's wondering, what are the chances of a control room for launches at the top of Gigabay?
Probably slim to none.
0.
I think they, yeah, I don't think they want to remove their control room from where it is already. That would just be a whole nother task. That's, I mean, it is. I would agree that is possibly the best place for one, but I doubt they want to move the one from the Star Factory so quickly after they just put it in there. So.
And then Error is wondering, when will the temp beams be removed?
That is a good question, and I don't know the answer to that. I would have thought that they would do it right away, like as soon as they got the truss sections in there. But they're definitely still down there, so theoretically, that could be done with a smaller crane, mobile crane inside the building. So they may not necessarily need to use the bridge cranes for that, or sorry, the tower cranes for that. But I suppose they could probably still reach in there if they need to and do it. Maybe as the last thing they do before they leave. Matter of fact, no, I was going to say they could drop down in there into this zone right here and take those down, but there's not enough clearance for that. So I suspect probably a mobile crane will come in there, this crane right here, if it's got enough reach. Probably doesn't.
You think maybe they could lower down in and attach to all the pieces, have them be unbolted, and then just lower them straight down versus pulling them out the top?
They're probably just going to put a crane in there and just take them apart.
Yeah. Yeah, just start from the front and work your way back with a mobile crane.
Yeah.
Cool. Any other questions?
No more questions, but we want to thank Wilbo Baggins for his 1 gifted membership. Thank you so much.
You know what's crazy? They literally built this entire building from the ground up in the time it took for me to finish this 5-part series.
Is it done?
Yeah, kind of.
On both
it
fronts?
will be next Friday.
There is one more question. Kiwi Lamb is wondering, could we please get an update on a lawn update out in front of Star Factory?
Could use a little water, but otherwise looks good.
Which is weird because they get quite a lot of rain down there. They get more than we get here, that's for sure.
You can tell the irrigation could use a little work.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure they get a certain supply from that municipal line every day when it's active. And whenever they're not filling the deluge tanks, they can be using it to water this grass.
And when they empty,
I don't think
those
they really have
porta
water to
potties-
spare right now, necessarily. Although they do spend a lot of time. Like I've never seen
Them not filling the tanks.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
literally is always water tanks in here at all times. It's crazy. So I don't know if they just like park there or if they literally fill them that often, like just constantly, like more than. There's probably more water that's gone through these than the deluge tanks, I would say.
Yeah, funny enough, I actually commented on that the last Tuesday show because we saw 4 trucks lined up there offloading.
Oh, there's 3 right now. Yeah, so they're. I
Yeah.
mean, that's a drive-through. They're constantly offloading water. So maybe they do a lot of irrigation. That lawn looks decent. I'm sure they have to water all the trees and stuff too. Maybe. Cool. Any other questions?
No other questions, but we did get a $10 donation from Turtle Sanctuary. He says that he's on his phone, but he wants us to stop blaming Matt. It's not always his fault. I disagree.
Well,
It is
wait
too.
a minute. When hasn't it been Matt's fault?
Never.
That's the question.
Well, when it's my microphone messing up. By the way, has it been fine this whole time?
It's been fabulous.
Perfect.
Yes.
All right. Well, I figured out what the problem was then.
You didn't
cool.
mute yourself? Oh wait.
No. But to the comment about Matt, there always has to be a fall guy. So that just it's just a fact of life, I guess.
I mean,
I got thick
You were-
bones. I can take it.
you wear the producer hat.
Yep.
Figure it out, Matt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad we got that microphone issue fixed. That's probably a program that I maybe haven't updated. I wonder if that's why it was doing that. But yeah, I'm glad we're good now. ASU, Alex.
Not a lot has changed. I mean, they're primarily just finally hooking everything up.
Yeah, that seems like they're doing the lines between these 2 buildings now.
Yeah. I mean, they're finally hooked up the main air intake, so that's good.
Yeah, it looks like the second one's now attached.
Main air intakes, where are those?
On the other side, the 2 big filter boxes on. You need the reverse angle. Yeah. And the great mystery, did they lower those, install the panels were upside down, or why did
What do
they?
you mean?
Well, they had the round cutouts for the air intakes, and then they cut the square holes because directly above it.
Oh,
It's like, did they?
well, it looks like they're not big enough.
Possibly. Did they do a running change? Did they go, wait, we don't need them so tall? Yeah, that just cracks me up.
Sand to fit.
Yeah.
I mean, the closer to the ground, the better, I feel like, because you're going to get, at some points, exhaust plume going through here. So, you think they'll build a box around them or not? Probably not.
No,
Right?
I think the finished filter boxes. I mean,
Do you think there's like some flame arrestor in here to stop them from pulling in exhaust during
if
launches?
they're getting exhaust all the way here, something went dreadfully wrong.
Well, I mean, not like direct flame, but they'll get steam, right?
Maybe not. It should be. They're going to have a blast wall in front. Should be fairly dissipated by the time it gets here.
Yeah, there shouldn't be much that gets there, honestly.
Well, I mean, then you have these tanks to shield them as well, too. So,
Yeah.
okay. Well, moving on from the ASU, more interestingly, we have some stuff going on at the tank farm that I don't know. I'm not going to inject my opinion, but we do have some new offloading stations, which I guess we've kind of been expecting. Where's the best shot of that? I want to look down the row. This might be a good one if I get this up. Nope. This is probably one of the better ones. So they're digging these trenches down here, and they're about evenly spaced. We can see another one that they've cut the concrete down here.
It's already installed up there by the backhoe.
Oh,
You can see
started
the
done?
yellow. Yeah, you can see the yellow bollards. So far, they have 3 of those trenches. Yeah, right there where the bollards are, they have a trench going across. A little
Are the
culvert.
lines coming up from there already? Because what? But
No,
okay, so they're just probably sticking up a little bit, and we can't see them.
no, I don't think they've installed them yet. I think they put those precast culverts in a while ago.
Oh, they just put covers over them,
Yeah,
and they still have to install the pipes down there.
yeah. I mean,
Okay,
and those pipes are the mystery pipes that we originally thought were something to do with the OLM, but apparently not.
who's we?
I don't know if you were one of them.
Certainly not.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna have to distance myself from you on something else here in a second too, Alex. So just be prepared for that.
I'll distance myself. We're gonna go to war. This is gonna be good. Let's bring
so before we get to that, this is so it's basically a drive-through kind of thing. I'm guessing here, and the trucks basically are pulling in and then backing into these spots. So I'm guessing 2 on either side. I can't remember how many they're able to offload. I know there's 7 stations. Hold on, let me double check. This was one. There was one here before,
Yeah.
right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah,
Wait.
they never used all of them, but yeah.
Okay, but they could fit way more than 7 vehicles at one time. So was it 2 per
Yeah.
station, right? So
Yeah.
14.
Yeah, I feel like whenever we saw that huge refueling happen, that there was, I think we saw 13 backed up at one point.
Hold on a second. I can.
Yeah, pull that up.
Uh-oh.
This was after a scrub, is what I want to find. I guess
Correct.
a flyover after a scrub. This year.
Yeah, it was flight 12.
Well, the flight 12 scrub. That flyover was during the actual scrub. So and then the flight happened the next day. And the flight 13 abort. He was also in the air for that one. So this is actually going to be not as easy to find as I would have thought. Flight 11, 10, 13. I don't think we're going to be able to do this very easily, actually. Unless I get lucky and just click on one. No, we're not going to get lucky. Yeah, I'm guessing they were doubling up on each one. So somewhere between 12 and 14. Right now, it looks like there's going to be 2 on each line. So you have 3, and I think the 4th would end up right where this truck is. And then, if I had to guess, there'll probably be 1 more down here. And so that would 2 on each side. I just lost count already. Is that 6? So 12. Actually, that's only 5. Unless they go even further. So going all the way down here would give them 6, which actually makes sense because well, I don't know if they have to back into these, I don't think they could pull into this one. So this may not necessarily still need to go out through the roundabout. But yeah, I mean, you can really tell how wide it is. They had a good shot looking down it at one point. I guess this is good enough because you can see these trailers right here. So with one truck against the wall and one truck along here, there you can easily have two trucks driving by to get to the next one and backing in. But I guess the question is, are there two offloading stations on each of these, or one for LOX and one for LN2?
One for LOX, one for LN2.
So theoretically, you could still have two, but I don't think that would work. Like, you couldn't actually. It's going to be one per, because this is literally only enough space to back in.
Right. Also, at some
Theoretically,
point,
they could speed it up though too, because if the first truck that comes in goes to the first station, you know, and I think I said this last week before as well. You know, when they line up, if the first truck, as long as he goes all the way up to the first station, they could fill in behind them, and then actually that probably wouldn't be very efficient. I was going to say by the time they leave, they all leave at the same time ish, and then you know the next group comes in behind them, but that never works out because
there's also just, you know, a few hundred meters away, 900-ton ASU. Yeah, so they're probably not going to be needing these load stations in the near future. Yeah, just throwing that out there.
It's a very good point. We finally have the rest of our tanks in here. I don't think there's. Yeah, this is it.
There's 4 more. Yeah, but there's room for 4 more.
But they're not. But they don't have. They don't have pilings in those areas though, right? So.
Oh yeah, they have.
They do?
They have. Yeah, it's all ready once you sweep off the dirt for 4 more tanks.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I got confused on that because the way that they were lining up in that other angle, I forgot that they don't line up with these. So
correct.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm guessing. I mean, I've been thinking that they would shift everything down, but I don't even know anymore.
I think those will be 4 more LOX tanks.
Yeah. And these two still aren't hooked up, which is hilarious. I wonder if they're just not going to end up using them. Temporary holding places while they wait for the 2 tanks they actually want to arrive. These 2 aren't hooked up either yet. These just arrived this week.
Yeah.
And the ones we hate the most are still here.
Oh, they'll probably be there forever.
No. I mean, I guess if you build a roof over them, but you don't want to build a roof over something that's methane. Yeah. I could see a wall right here. That would make sense. Like I feel like that would be potentially enough to protect these ones. The wall would have to be.
And their site diagrams, they have a blast wall running across there. So
across here, but not. Does it come down here?
It just follows essentially the contours of those tanks.
Okay.
At this point, I'd be surprised if those move, to be honest.
That's just craziness. Anyways, so previously we believed that this. Well, let me change. I'm going to say we. I kind of went along with it.
Of what?
But the thought was that this trench was primarily to shore up this wall because it didn't have a foundation, which I guess technically it kind of is doing that. But there is now we know another purpose for it, which is that I guess immediately after this flyover, they or probably the next day put the first pipe section down here, and these are.
You gotta be kidding me! They're using they're sharing the deluge form.
You would think that, but
please tell me they're not.
I think that is a natural conclusion, but let's see. I don't know if there's a shot looking in the direction necessarily that I want in order to talk about this the right way.
By the way, after
this one's kind of good. What was that?
After this, I know it's a little late, but you've got something in your DM.
I always got stuff in my DMs, bud. Okay, here we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11, 12. So yeah, 14.
Yeah, and that
There's
silver,
here, but
yeah, that silver one on the bottom too. It had just pulled out.
So wait, they were doing 3 on each one? So
I think it was 2 on each one, and then the third one would pull up and get ready.
Just be in place.
Yeah.
Right. That makes sense. I feel like this is going to be a reduction for them. But again, I guess they don't necessarily need it for that long. Right. Yeah, the image that I wanted to use is not necessarily, this isn't the greatest for it. Let me try and find a better angle. Probably have to use a Pad A image. Let's see. Maybe even a Pad 2 one. Let's try that instead. Nope. Okay, then I'm going to have to work with what I got here. So I think that right now, like I said, you would naturally think that this is going to go across to all the way to over to the Pad 2. But
I'm hoping it doesn't.
I don't know, maybe I think it's going to turn up here. So we do know that the current site plans have the water farm like all the way over
by the triangle building.
It's the first week where I don't think we have the proper. There we go. So yeah, it was basically supposed to be over here.
Mm-hmm.
But the key is here and not over here, which is where this would be leading to. So I have a feeling that on the map that this area was supposed to be for pump and heat exchanger extension.
Yes.
But I think that's not going to happen, and I think this is the water farm right here. It may even stretch further over to here, because now that this gate D2 is being closed in, they don't necessarily need vehicles to be able to move through this area per se. So theoretically, they could have that water farm right in this area, and so basically your weir pipes would be right here and immediately turn underground. So I think that's what's happening. It is suspiciously perfectly lined up with these pipes, though. I just don't see that happening for many reasons, because this is a valveless system. They're the only valve technically on this side. It would be whatever goes to this other line right here. If these T's were on the opposite sides, I would say there would be more of a likelihood of that potentially happening, but they're not. So yeah, I don't think that they would want to dig through here. I have to even go back and look and see if they even can. I don't think they could. I know that the electrical conduit follows this right here, so I don't know how much underground stuff there is right here actually.
There's a
But
foundation for that blast wall through there. They couldn't. They'd have to dig on the other side of the blast wall to get access to
yeah, that's
those
not going
lines.
to happen. I refuse to believe that they're going to tie into this. Beyond
Okay.
that, they
That's
do
okay.
have.
I'd much rather be wrong about that's what that was for than them tying the two together, because that's if they're running that
At
there, then yeah.
At first, when I did, like I said, I get a lot of DMs. I did get a DM about that. As soon as those pipes got lifted in, somebody sent me a DM telling me that those were going there, and I guess the implication was that it was going to tie into this. But I personally think this is a turn right here. It actually kind of jogs out a little bit. That alone doesn't necessarily prove that's what it is, a turn. Man, I'm going back and forth between groups of images here. I think that's just not a straight line, but it does start to turn out a little bit right here. So I don't know if that implies that it's going, that is, they're preparing for that turn here. But I think that's what they're doing is going to turn basically right there. And maybe not. Like maybe the turn is here in front of it instead of all the way over here, and that they just went down this far just to not have a huge wall that they had to support, basically in the excavation area. So, yeah, I do think that the weirs will drop down into here. I was hoping that maybe they'd already have some of those the 90 the turns basically, which would maybe potentially give us an idea, because they might lay them out with those 90s installed, but there's only straight pieces down here currently. So yeah, I do think that there's lots of reasons why you wouldn't want to go all the way and tie it into the other farm. Not only is it double the distance than it is for pad 2, they just don't use valves on their water systems, so that would be a major break. And from what they do currently, and not only would you need a valve to branch off of this, but you would also need a valve. You would need to install a valve on each of these lines as well too, so that you could select between which system that it's going to. And I just don't think that's going to happen. And beyond that, they do have tanks at the port, which are almost guaranteed to be for the deluge system, because they're identical to the ones at pad 39A. So I do think that is the weird part. I've thought about that, and I do wonder if they may install 3 for the deflector system, or maybe they're waiting on one more tank and they'll split the apex and the launch deck away from each other. Possibly, that seems less likely, but yeah. But yeah, that's pretty cool that they're starting to do that. What was that?
That is a long run that they're doing.
Yeah, even from this location, it is long. It's much longer than this one, but 39A is even further. So, into account for that extra distance that they're running on 39A, they used an extra gas generator on each system. So I'm assuming we'll probably see that here, and it might make people initially think that this system is more powerful than the other one. And while that is true, it's not necessarily actually making it to the outlets, because the increased length increases the pipe friction. So they're adding an extra gas generator to account for that extra distance.
I mean, you hit a pressure that you need above stagnation point, and it's in material at that point. If your
Wait, say
deck
that again?
if your deck isn't above the stagnation pressure, it's kind of useless. So it operates at a set pressure. You can't modulate the flow rate.
Are you talking about the water side?
Yeah, the water side. It has to be above the stagnation pressure, and you need enough generators to push the water through the pipe. So yeah, that surface friction would.
No. Since I have these images open already, I might as well show them. Dang it, I actually don't technically have them open, but I do want to show it.
The added generators
Yeah,
that they
because I
added
was going to
after.
put that in my episode, but I decided not to because I'm done making changes. So, yeah, this is the system at 39A. And you can see that they have added a fifth one onto each, or sorry, an extra gas generator onto each system. But the distance that this is traveling is significantly further. And I have a feeling that there is not an image that will properly show all of that in one shot.
And then 37 is even crazier for the distance.
Have they started the water farm there?
Yeah.
Okay. But obviously we're not going to show those images. Yeah, because the deluge farm should be like right here-ish if it was going to be like comparable to pad 2, but it's way back there, and it's far enough back there that there are no shots of them in the same angle, I don't think. In the same image, I mean. So you're just going to, I guess, have to trust my word for it. But yeah, further distance, so they have an extra gas generator to account for that. Initially, I thought it was maybe related to like a change in the launch deck design, but then they added it to all of them. So I'm pretty sure that they're not necessarily increasing the flow out of the launch deck, apex, and deflector.
I mean,
with the
the only way they
deflectors,
can increase the flow is by drilling out the holes.
Yeah.
So it's
and
fixed.
the other thing is the fact that I'd have to count them. I'm not going to, but I'm not sure if I really want to count them. I'm not sure if this deflector, if this is the new or not, or if this is the same.
Go ahead.
I really want to count those.
Near.
Are you being serious?
Matt, you're the producer. You should count it.
Yep. It'll be my fault if the count's off.
I don't want to go all the way across. This is the middle. It's 32, so this has 64.
64 is what the other one has, I thought.
No, 60.
Uh-oh, do it again.
It's 48, and then there's two.
Wait, that's okay. I said how much did I say this was? 32?
It should be 48, and the ramps are 8. Or the shoulders are 8.
I'm so tempted to start throwing out numbers.
Me too.
You guys are the worst.
66. So they this one is
less
the same as pad 2. 39. Sorry, pad 37, I believe, has a wider ramp like pad 1 will have. Yeah. So
16 inches, 16 and a half inches.
Roughly, yeah. We now have this is it's pretty crazy the way that most of the trench walls are completed. I think really like the only sections that aren't completed that are left here are things that go we have the sections down over here, which are basically the ones that go up to the launch mount.
I think
There's
there's
4 of those.
yeah.
I think there should be 4 more.
I think there's the ones that they can't pre-do because of the way the legs interact.
These, I think that's these though.
Those are
These go between the legs.
Yeah, but on the other side of where the legs are for how they stack.
Like, because the legs go right here.
Right. And then I think
So there
the
would be one on top of
continuation,
this.
yeah, which can't go there because it overlaps the way the leg when the leg is there, so they can't stack it. And
Right, that makes sense.
And I'm not sure because that whole center section there is independent of the 2 side wings, as far as so.
I think they wish they could install the legs right now, but they can't because those absolutely have to be level with each other. So that the wall has to be essentially in place before they can install those. But yeah, these are the 4 pieces. I think there's one more that goes on top of this that basically fill in this.
But
Right
what's
here.
odd is at 30
7.
39, no, they have an extra section because the trench is slightly deeper to account for
This one's deeper too.
Yeah, that's what's weird about the way these walls are built. They are
Don't have the extra section.
exactly.
That is strange, actually. Yeah, because it should be. But was it on top of this?
Yeah,
it goes on top.
Yeah, it's pretty kind of, and it does actually. Those do look like they have lead-ins for another section. Now that
Yeah, they do.
Okay,
Wonder why they didn't put those on.
Non-structural. They don't care.
These are non-structural.
But they also put the little mount points where they're going to attach the scaffolding. Yeah, those, so that they'll weld those in place.
So they can get up there and weld them.
Yeah. I mean, what's the fun in not welding on scaffolding?
I bet either they're really happy that they're doing it this way because,
Yeah.
I mean, theoretically, like in the future, like with Louisiana, I imagine that potentially we could see them build out the entire launch pad for Louisiana in Florida, more than likely, like this. And instead of bringing in individual sections to Louisiana, they'll just build out the entire wall at Roberts Road or something like that, and then ship it in completed sections like this on a barge to Louisiana.
They'll probably have there's so many shipyards in Louisiana and fabrication sites, they could probably just hire that work out.
Instead of shipping them.
Yeah, I mean, sort of like when you're building an oil platform, you just bring the super blocks and lower them in place.
Right. On the trench itself, the gantry, they've completed the rest of that concrete. Is this different? I don't.
Yes.
I don't remember.
Yeah, it's different.
I wonder what that's about because the columns that go here, they already have foundations for. So I don't know what this is about. Maybe that's just for
cladding.
Tying in.
Yeah, tying the wall cladding.
Oh, because there's plates that go on top of this.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay.
Why
not just put the plates down there already, like with?
I don't know.
You can see they're finally started on, I guess they technically started earlier, on the 14th-ish. The floor of the trench, we just got that first layer down. Parts of it, most of it.
Yeah, I don't know how many bars they're going to have for that mat, that lower mat.
A lot.
Yeah, but how many layers is it going to be for the
Isn't it
lower
always
one?
just 2?
No. Oh gosh, no. You'll stack up 6 or 8.
I think they did that on pad 2 though. I think it was just 2 layers.
I think I'd have to look. There's that one. But usually you have more on the bottom than you do on the
On the
top.
top, yeah. Yeah, this is going to take quite a while. Actually, I have a feeling within the next 2 weeks this will be done.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this was actually pretty fast last time.
Well, this will be a little longer just because they're going to have to be fairly accurate for putting them bed frames in place.
Right,
The,
but the actual cage itself will probably be done by next weekend.
well, they're probably going to do the floor, then they're going to lower in the cages, and then they'll put the top layer of a bar.
The cages for
The
the
anchor
vertical
frames.
parts.
Yeah, all the anchor frames was for the walls. They're going to have to lower those in before.
But do they just? I can't remember if those were actual cages or if they were just the L-shaped brackets.
If you pull out of this image, all the bolts are assembled in frames.
Yeah.
Which is different than they did previously.
Oh, right. So then they'll okay. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Yeah, all of those frames.
For some reason I thought they were just storing them on this, but that makes sense that they'll actually just drop the whole cage in there.
Yeah, and then tie it in and level it. Call it good.
That makes sense. Yeah. Weird that didn't occur to me. Actually, I'm not surprised. I'm slightly disconnected over this last few months.
Yeah.
So also we have the base of, or sorry, the extension for the drawworks. Making good progress. I think it goes up one more, right? They need one more level on this side.
Yeah, well, they need the angled wall that goes up that side.
Yeah. Where
Which I
is
don't
it
think
here?
On that trapezoid piece, I think they haven't welded it together. Yeah, they haven't. I didn't see it that they had welded it together yet, but I thought the steel pieces were over on that trapezoid section where they're doing some fabrication. Yeah. Yeah, I think those pieces there are part of the speed. The speed
This?
right below that, there's all the triangle steel pieces. Yeah. I think those are the start of the speed core for those walls.
That would make sense. I was wondering about these because when I saw these burn plates, I thought that they were going to basically build out burn plates for the entire trench wall, and to do that here would be kind of crazy because that's probably something that should be done with a water jet cutter. But
there's more of the culverts for the offload or load stations.
Oh, that's what these are for, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Grumble.
Cladding. Or cladding. Yep. I hope this all goes on pad 2. They are
more-
actually. Matter of fact, we can probably move over to pad 2. Actually,
Yeah.
is there more from pad 1 that we? I'm pretty sure we kind of touched on everything from pad 1. Oh no. There is the chopsticks. Oh, and also, Alex, do you think that this water line is going to make like a larger than 90-degree turn right here? Because that's pretty wild. I feel like it's kind of set up for that though.
Please split the difference. Please split
Because
the difference.
they have to come into the wall here. I mean, theoretically, they could start turning and go straight through here. That implies that this was primarily here to support this wall, but I do wonder if this is also the trench for the water.
Yeah. I
I feel like you don't want bigger than 90-degree turns.
They could split. No, you generally don't, but they could split the difference and make like 50 degrees instead.
Right. So cross through here. It's going to be an interesting path.
Yeah.
Strange because you could theoretically have just gone straight into there from all the way across here.
Right. Unless that wall was strictly like they did on the other side, just so that they didn't have to put as much dewatering when they built the trench.
Right. Trying to find one with that whole view, but I don't have it. Yeah, sorry. So the chopsticks, though, they have started working on the chopsticks. They actually technically started on this a few months ago. They had cut out a piece like right here, I believe.
Yeah. That lower.
Yeah, and then they ended up like we thought they were just going to replace that one piece, but then they ended up replacing this entire, I think, from here to here.
Yeah.
Or is it these three right here? 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I think the piece is one of the pieces still on the ground, or is that one they removed?
Well, yeah, I guess that would have made it easier to. Yeah, that's it right there. So, did they do both of them this week or just one?
I only saw them doing that one, the back one. I don't know if they did the foreground one yet.
You don't see any cut lines on the one in the foreground.
On this one, no.
Yeah.
So that's the old. That doesn't even look like the same piece. I see it now. Okay, it is. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know if that's the old one though, because those cuts, that cut right there specifically, doesn't look like an old. That looks like a new cut.
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't remove it like that, is what I mean.
No.
So yeah, I don't know if they're gonna. I think that might mean that they're probably doing this one next, which I guess would be expected. I'm curious why they are doing that in the first place. Like if there's something wrong with it because it was originally part of the old arm. For some reason that makes it damaged somehow. I don't know. Were the landing the gears on here for the landing rail, are those new?
I don't think they've installed any of that stuff yet, have they?
That's the big worm gear, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, that is.
I don't remember if that was already on there or not.
Matt, help
which
us out.
website is that? That's
I don't remember seeing it before personally either.
sorry, I was just looking at the thing that you sent me. Okay. I just got distracted.
You?
Well,
Wow.
because this count can't be right. You're showing 64. That can't be right. That's pad 2. Pad 2 definitely has 66 for sure.
Vintage
Dudes?
at 64. Yeah.
It's 64.
Yeah, dudes just jumped in, so feel free to elaborate.
Should be 64.
I need to double check this. Because I've counted it so many times, I'm very positive there's 66 on pad 2.
And dudes has left the chat.
It's okay. Let's go over to pad 2. We're not going to count those. Let's see. What are they doing at pad 2? Not a lot. There is stuff going on with tower, which I guess we'll get to in this area. They're doing replacements of some things. I'm not sure exactly what it is right now. But the fact that nothing is happening with pad 2 is kind of a good sign. They did get back to deluge testing this week. I think they did 2 tests, not as extensive as what they had been doing in the past. But we do see that they are now bringing over the cladding, more cladding for this tower. So there's some pieces right here. Then there's a bunch stacked up over here too. I think almost all of these are edge pieces, I think.
It looked like they were also extending those covers over the gas generators. But if you look, there's the extra frame. Yeah, it looks like there's extra framing in there up front. Unless those were panels and they
I
just
think
aren't there.
these have been like this for a while.
Oh, okay.
So when the top blows off, it can't get free.
Ah,
Yeah.
right. Okay.
With the integration tower, they are still doing that work with adding the, we're going to call it lock strain.
Yeah, the bleed line.
Yeah. I was trying to look at that wall over here, but you can still see that there's pipes down here. Actually, that's not what that is. That's something else.
They've disconnected the waterfall vent.
What are these?
Those look like more of the pipes that haven't been lifted into the tower.
That almost looks too big. So the waterfall's gone?
Yeah. I don't know if we can see it in this photo, but on the ground, some of the ground photos this week showed it.
So this one's still here, the one that was, oh wait.
It's disconnected. It's still there. And
okay.
I think they added on the right side of the leg, the tower column, they added right by the scaffoldings. There's the other vent coming out right there. That one's new.
That looks bigger than it was before.
Yeah.
That's the methane vent?
I believe so. I haven't.
Feel like I'm seeing pipes being mounted to the outside of the tower here.
They did. It dives back in and goes back in. Yeah.
Oh boy.
But the bulk of it is inside the tower.
Inside.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, so as far as like delays with flight 14, I suppose this is now potentially causing delays. If this is now disconnected, then they can now no longer run it this way if they want to. So they will have to wait for this to be completed. So
correct.
But you think 3 additional pipes is enough to cause a delay all the way to September 15th?
Nope.
I don't. They've been moving really fast, so I don't think that's the real delay.
this tower work will
Oh.
probably be done in a week or two.
I wonder why they still have the methane one there.
That's when they're close out, when they're pushing out the
Right. Instead of, well, this wasn't a chill down line technically, or return
Yeah.
for the chill down.
Yeah. Because I think the SQD closeout, I thought they were using that one there.
For locks.
Yeah.
I do like how far apart they are.
Right?
Yeah. Let's see. With the launch mount itself, they are done with adding the burn plates here for now. I personally think there's going to be more of them. But this is what they have done up to this point. I feel like they have like a set number they're going to do between each launch, just to not cause delays. Although right now, technically they have a whole month, so technically they could do another section at least if they wanted to. So I don't know, but there are more burn plates over on the that little pad in between towers 1 and 2. So I do wonder if we'll see more of that. I think they're finished on this side as well. Yeah. Very weird place to stop, leaving this undone down here specifically. Other than that, I think Pad 2 looks like it's ready for static fire testing, and we are obviously expecting Booster 21 probably sometime this week, hopefully. What is this?
They reworked a lot of the plumbing inside the bunker.
Yeah. Which, unfortunately, we don't really know what exactly they did there, but some modifications were done, and I think they're probably finished with that. We do still see some, they're doing some welding inside of there probably still, but yeah, I'm guessing they're close to wrapping that up.
SpaceX welding? Never.
And they might be
They also
done
made
'cause
some
they were doing
modifications
LOX testing yesterday.
from the booster QD.
From, yeah.
Like Purge?
Purge. Yep.
I suppose they might be close to done, or they are done. Yeah, they also finished up, I think we probably talked about this last week, when they swapped out the torsion bar. What do you want to call it?
Yeah.
It was underneath this. Basically the support for the landing rail. So they swapped that out, I think, on both sides, and looks like they're now done with that. I feel like I'm missing something else from Pad 2.
Did they add like cladding somewhere on the bottom of this?
I don't think they have yet.
Okay.
Are you talking about on the tower?
Yeah.
No, I think they're preparing for that.
Okay, cool. More
So Event Dude's corrected me. It was the OLM LOX dump, and they did a booster QD this morning.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. So the tower at 37 has, I think, one full tower section worth of like 1, 2, 3, 3 extra levels of cladding, I think, at least. So I believe that's where we'll at least see this go up to. Probably figure that out based on how many edge sections there are. I think there's 4 there, and I think there was 2 over here. So if there's at least 6, then I would expect they're at least going all the way up to another level in total. Well, yeah, obviously there's more of these sections here too, so at least 1 extra level up. We will see. I hope they keep going further. Just add more between every launch. till you reach the top. Let's see, what else have I missed? Do we have any questions in chat?
Couple of questions, lots of donations. I'll start off with the donations. We had a 10-pound donation from Wilbo Baggins, $10 donation from T. Evans. Foss donated $10, 2 pounds from Just Martin, who says, don't forget to hit the like button. Foss then donated another $5. And then Andy Alder donated 2 pounds. Perpetual Nerd donated $5. Turtle Sanctuary came in with two $10 donations totaling $20. So thank you all for your donations. We really, really, really appreciate that. And then the question for you from Manners, please. How much deeper are the other flame trenches compared to Pad 2?
So the one at 37 is the same. All the new ones. So the two at 37 will be the same as Pad 2. 39's deeper, and Pad 1 is deeper. And the difference in depth is the difference in height in the launch tower. Or specifically the base of the launch tower. So I believe that difference is, I think we can see it, if I remember correctly. These pedestals on the bottom, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, essentially it's those.
Yeah, I think that's the difference in height between the two towers. Is this? I feel like that's wrong for some reason. Yeah, let's just go with that. I mean, that matches up to about what it is, because it's about half of the height of one of these wall sections, essentially.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Mark Smith is wondering, will Pad 1's widened flame trench deal with the issues Pad 2 is having?
The trench itself is not widened, it's just the ramp. I wouldn't say it's necessarily been having issues other than the scarring on the wall. I don't think that's going to change that, because they'll still have the same amount of water coming through it. So I don't know if that's going to actually change anything as far as that goes. It's really just about widening the ramp a little bit.
You sure it's wider?
I am 100% positive.
Okay, we'll take it offline, because I pulled up my old Fusion map of it, and it looks the same. But so
yeah, we'll talk about it after the show.
Sure.
I wouldn't be able to talk about it on the show anyways, if that makes sense. But yeah, sorry, Andy, what were you saying?
Had another question for you. Crane Man was wondering, what were they welding at the gap between the OLMB bottom and the trench wall?
Was that something that happened this week? I'm not familiar with that.
Yeah, that was this morning. Hang on, I can get you a screenshot.
If it's something that happened today, I can promise you I have no idea about it. Anything that happens the day of, I can't get ready for a show and also pay attention to live events, so I'm not sure what happened there.
Well, and that was
I guess if okay, cool. If Josh finds it within the next few seconds, I can maybe discuss it, but
I take that back. It was yesterday, but let me see if I can grab one here that has a watermark on it.
Okay. Sorry, I was looking through my own server to see if I could find it, but I don't see anything. Cool.
Event posted the count, the number of pipes in the trench in Patreon Lounge if you want to see.
I'm not going to go through it right now. Matt sent it to me in a DM as well too.
No, he just posted a new one that's color coded. That's all.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Cool. In that case, if we don't have any other questions, and I don't think Josh is going to find that in time.
Found it in your server. Give me 1 second. I'll grab you the link. Just sent you the link to it in Patreon Lounge.
Okay. So I don't see the actual welding. I'm guessing it was over here.
One message up. Hold on. I'll post the actual image.
I think Crayman posted the image.
Oh, this.
Yeah, there you go. That's the
one. This is the bunker side.
Yeah, and
I think.
Not sure which side that's from. I think
tower,
it
tower
might
side.
All the cameras are looking at tower side.
Tower side, yep.
I don't know. I mean, they could be filling the gap finally. I don't see any light coming through there, so that might possibly be what they're doing. We need a ground image to see what they're actually welding on. In order,
there's some cladding on the ground that sort of looked like what they had welded on the opposite side. But
are you talking about these little strips that are down here?
I don't think it was those. I think they were in ground photos, to be honest.
Okay.
Where I saw it, but yeah.
Cool. Alrighty then. Well, I guess if we don't have, if we don't have any other questions, I can't look at this without laughing. I'm gonna post about it later, though. I'm not gonna talk about it here. So yeah. Anyways, if we don't have any other questions, I guess we will kind of wrap up the show then. I really appreciate everybody in the audience with all your questions and donations. Really helps us out, and I don't know, just glad to see the engagement in general, especially after just how long the show's been going on. Nice to have the audience here every single week, so appreciate y'all. Thanks to Alex for helping me out today, as well as Matt and Indy, and of course Mauricio for getting up there to take these images, especially doing 2 flyovers a week now. And I think he has some other stuff that's going to be coming this coming week. I didn't ask him before the show if he wanted me to talk about it or not, so I'll leave that up to him. But yeah, wait. Was I always visible down there?
Nope.
Okay.
Squirrel.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah, with that, I will go ahead and pass it off to Alex.
Thank you. Glad to be here. Thanks, Indy, Matt, Mauricio, and Zack. And chat another day. See ya.
And a big thank you to Indy, as always, for doing questions and donations.
My pleasure, anytime.
All right, so we've got a busy week coming up this week. We have something new that we're going to try out. It's going to be a drone flyover on Tuesday at 1 p.m. Central Time. So that's going to be kind of interesting. We're going to be going over a few of the external sites, so we won't be going around the launch site or anything like that. But for those of you who do follow the expanded show, this should be a fun one. So That is again on Tuesday. I'm sorry, at noon Central Time.
That's right.
And then we also have same day Starbase Expanded at 6 p.m. Central Time. And so we will talk about the drone flyover as well as some of the other stuff. So look forward to that. We have our main flyover coming up this coming Thursday, also at, that will be at 11 a.m. Central Time, with the show and tell that evening at 8 p.m. And then, of course, weekly again on next Sunday. So,
And show and tell is 6 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. No, somebody else's time.
Oh, so on the schedule, it says 8 p.m. Central currently. So that's just what I was going off of. Anyways.
Sorry, fix that. Time zones are hard.
Anyways. So, yeah, look forward to that, guys. And we will see you this coming Tuesday. So with that, most engines cut off. Hot staging confirmed. Love you. Bye.